Fighting for pride, fighting for points. It is Shopify Rebellion versus Falcons. Time to be able to see who's left and who's right between Crit and Arteezy. Time to see if Shopify can get themselves a better placement than 7th in their group. If they do manage to win this, they will tie, and then we would have to see where the other series goes down and who exactly ends up in that three-way tie. But it's possible that Shopify could get themselves all the way up to 5th place, which is obviously a significant increase in points.
They're playing for a lot here. This is by no means a meaningless match, even though they will not move on.
Well,
30 seconds.
Not meaningless for Shopify.
Yeah, but it's meaningful for Falcons. It's pride. It's beef. It's who was right, who was left. I mean, that is often worth more than any amount of money.
I feel like, if anything, Crit would... I just can't imagine Crit ever caring about that. In fact, I feel like he wants Arteezy to do well.
The battle begins.
But it's a nice storyline.
I don't know, man.
Once again, we're going to see this support Terrorblade go to work.
I've seen Crit say some crazy shit over my ears.
I don't believe you.
This guy has a wild
blood grenade, and Crit is going to be the first blood. So, Stabilization already off to a great start.
Back to hell with you.
And already dropping the voice lines.
Got to get the mental edge going early. Surprised they contested that, but hey, Centaur, tough hero to fight level 1. And it's another first blood for Shopify, though I will say I don't think the early laning phase has been the issue for Shopify this tournament. I feel like it's that mid game.
Yeah.
It's just been incredibly slow by them, and if you're slow versus Falcons, they're going to take massive advantage of it and just run you off the map. Because Amar, he plays very fast off the lane, and then that mid game is usually where his hero shines. He's just running around, picking you off with the stun. You get one kill here, it feeds into another, Roche dies, suddenly Skeeter's 2,000 gold ahead. This is not a team you can have a sloppy mid game against. Shopify are going to have to pick it up here if they want to beat the undefeated team in Group Stage 2. Nobody has been able to beat them. Does Arteezy know enough about his old teammate to figure out that puzzle?
Yeah, the only team who managed to take even a game off of them was the already defeated Aurora. So maybe it would be fitting if Shopify managed to deal the final blow there that Aurora started.
I mean, nobody 2-0s Aurora.
That is
nobody 2-0s Aurora. That's what we've learned here. I can take that with them.
Everybody 2-1s them, but nobody 2-0s them.
Skeeter's getting demolished on the early CS here. Took the Rage level 1 and makes it harder to trade, and he's just not getting the early CS. Tough start for him. This lane is shoving out, I think. It's very close, but it is shoving out a bit. The Olo Core's controlling the camp, so if Stabilization can get this lane back, they should be pretty happy here. Especially with the start. Getting these extra denies in this matchup counts for a lot down the road. You might even get that cheeky kill on the lifestealer later on.
Yeah, or feast off the Winter Wyvern. I feel like Wyvern's a little bit similar to Crystal Maiden. It's just very, very slow here, right?
There is no way you just said that this hero is similar to Crystal Maiden.
They've got a similar movement speed. She's got 285
Oh, yeah,
MS.
you know, the F1 Mercedes is similar to my Ford Buick out in the garage.
Arteezy, I was about to say, the one lane you really don't want to be losing. Amar pump faking it, and he will spin Arteezy, get another kill for himself.
Yeah, why don't you just drive your Buick down to the give it to Ferrari. Give it to Lewis Hamilton this season. Let's see what he can do in it, huh? Similar heroes.
He's not Mercedes anymore.
Yeah, I said Ferrari. Give it to Ferrari.
Oh, you do
I know
keep
my
up.
F1.
Damn. So if top lane's going poorly for Shopify, bottom lane is going well, the tie breaks in the mid lane, which seems like Yopaj is having a bit of a rough time with the harassment of Malrine, though CS-wise he's doing all right.
We saw XM win this matchup really hard early on in the tournament. I think it can go well for Void Spirit, but this is a skill matchup, and I mean, Malrine is just getting the better of him here. And this can be a tough matchup if the lane doesn't go well for Void Spirit because you get that early coil, and if you can ever make those rotations, the Void Spirit does not really like that gank interaction.
Yeah.
Though Terrorblade Wyvern, probably not the best or fastest duo we've seen from Falcons in terms of playing around that puck. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Maureen make the rotations to maybe one of these side lanes rather than they go to him. Could be on the table. You talked about the difference between the Wyvern and the Maiden. I think Wyvern is stronger on lane than he used to be. He's not known for his laning prowess, but it's gotten better with some of the buffs. And particularly that heal. The heal value point is very good now. It's a very strong laning skill. It's good in the early fights. Gives this hero a lot more early game presence.
Yep.
And that's a big deal for a hero that historically scales really damn well and is one of the best late game teamfight controlling 5s in the game.
Yep.
It's going to be an issue for the Luna if you can ever land some of these curses group Shopify up. So again, you're not looking to necessarily demolish the lanes here if you're Falcons. Just cruise through them, get your heroes into solid position, and then, you know, abuse the Terrorblade Wyvern scale. Aggression on Amari, 4 stacks, and he gets the 5th. It's going to be some nice deeps.
Yeah, they would love to be able to kill one of these heroes as there is a gigantic wave pushing in, but they just can't do it.
We'll also see how much this reflection does versus the Luna. Like, on paper, it seems really good. And they picked it for that reason, and they weren't flexing anything. So we'll see. Crit can make that work in those later fights. Already doing pretty well in the lane.
Also, for the record, Crystal Maiden has 280 MS. Wyvern has 285.
That is, 1, a massive difference. And 2, Wyvern skills are just stronger over the course of a game.
I mean, that's fine. I'm not arguing that.
It's not about your base MPH. It's about your acceleration, Austin. You of all people should know this.
He has better acceleration.
That's right, he does.
I see.
Actually, he doesn't. I think Maiden's a way faster hero. But the point is not whether this metaphor has been successful. The point is, one hero is just better, okay? That's what life's about.
That's
just
totally
better.
Fine. I'm just saying that, you know, it's a hero that's susceptible to getting run down in lane.
You think Lewis Hamilton won all those championships because his car was better? No, he was just better. Okay? That's the truth that Ferrari fans couldn't admit, which is why they had to go get him. You know, the car was better. No, it's all about the driver, man. Really isn't helping my point. But my point is, the better drivers play Wyvern, okay?
I see.
You understand that we've come full circle now. Makes sense.
Lewis Hamilton is a winner Wyvern player.
Okay, yeah. If Lewis Hamilton played Dota, he would never pick Crystal Maiden. Tell you that much.
36-6. Saberlight CS doing very well in this lane. 34-11. So Yopaj is really coming back into that mid lane. Tons of denies from him. So he's taking advantage of his attack damage lead over the poor little puck. And Arteezy, not too far behind everybody else, but is obviously suffering the most when it comes to this laning phase. Very dead even, though, when it comes to CS across the board.
Yeah, everybody is getting what they want. As you said, Arteezy, the one suffering the most here, but we've seen that pretty much be the standard for anyone versus the ATF Mars with double bracer. And Yopaj did catch up, and he's got some solid levels here. We'll see which of these mid laners wants to rotate first. Break the equilibrium. So far, ATF is just getting the job done. That's a big kill, but for the arena.
Yeah, Kidtrack left lane a little bit, and Falcons immediately take advantage of it. The Terrorblade continues to have good amount of success, even if it didn't win that game earlier today. It's
looked solid.
It looks pretty solid in most of the games that it's been played out.
Yeah, outside of that Baboka game, it's looked very solid. Centaur on Centaur action.
8-minute power rune coming up. I feel like the 8-minute rune is so big for a lot of these spirit heroes. Now they have a maxed out, like they have level 7, so one of their abilities is maxed out.
And that's why Yopaj is just trying to shove this lane in. Help them fight for the rune. It guarantees Maureen won't get it here, as he did not want to miss too much CS. The Bing Bong comes out, that's number 1. And it'll be illusion for Theolacor. So a washed rune. But I think Falcons are happy about that, because this was 3 heroes going in the runes for Shopify. The Centaur's even leaning here. And Yopaj was in position to get it based on the lane equilibrium, so they lucked out a bit. And snaking with the slight contest is enough to force it.
What do you think? We haven't really talked about draft-wise overall. Like, obviously, Falcons is heavily favored in this team versus team matchup, but if you ignored them, draft-wise, do you have a favorite?
What?
Which draft do you like better? What was confusing about that?
You said if you ignore them draft-wise.
No, if you ignore the teams.
Oh.
And just look at the draft.
So you're saying which
no.
team is the Lewis Hamilton of this game? That's what you're asking me.
No, I'm asking which team is the Max Verstappen?
Who's vastly overpaid for what they
what?
contribute to the brand
shit.
image?
Since when can admin pause? Yeah, that's a thing.
Admin can always pause. Get wrecked, kid.
Yeah, it used to be the casters could pause too.
Yeah, pause.
Before they did the actual op slot. That's where the Finnel pause came in. I accidentally paused
that's true.
once in an official match.
I remember that, actually. You gotta have these cams up. That is regulation. Gotta see what you're doing. Witness me. Well, we can't witness you because your cams are broken. So why don't you fix that and get back to us here?
Are you going to get back to me on your draft analysis? Or?
Oh, which draft do I like more? I feel like I'm leaning towards Falcons just because It's honestly very close, but I think I prefer the Puck Lifestealer over the Void Luna. I put it that way. And I think most of the rest is even. I do like Shadow Demon in this patch, but this doesn't strike me as the best Shadow Demon game ever. It's solid. The Shadow Demon Luna can go ham. I just think Puck is more reliable than Void Spirit right now in an even setting. And I believe in ATF Mars. I don't know. I just can't bet against ATF Mars, man. It's too hard.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Crit. It's going to get run down by Yopaj here, or the poison that lands.
Nice little pickoff.
Nice little rotation. But once again, the double bracer Amar Mars cannot be touched. So, double bracer, Soul Ring. Man's got 1,300 HP.
So that's the concern, I think, for the Shopify lineup is you're scaling damage in this game. Are you going to have enough in those late game fights to punch through? Ooh, that was very close. Are you going to have enough to punch through an incredibly tanky Mars because he's having a good game? Lifestealer, who's going to be very tanky and has the Infest extra HP for one of the other heroes.
Yep.
Wyvern, Embrace, plus Curse that can bail somebody out, reset a fight. You also have Embrace to heal up these big tanky targets on the front line. Puck that you might not be able to stun and catch. Like, this is a lot. There's a Sunder save as well. That is a lot of HP to get through. And I think one of the weaknesses of Centaur in this patch compared to the other stunning offlaners is that his damage is not as consistently reliable in those later fights. It can run out.
Do it again. Gank the Centaur in that bottom lane. And then just, okay, he's going to cut this wave. Just throw another coil at him. They are going to go for the Mars now. And the spear back. Really good discipline by Amar to hold on to that spear. Now he gets the God's Rebuke back and will get a kill as a result of it. Still dies, but an excellent trade.
He almost got that uphill miss. It's very close to surviving. Regen rune running.
See, when you were talking about the HP problem for Shopify, draft-wise, I thought you were going to say Void Spirit. Because doesn't Void Spirit also suffer from the fact that he's not going to be able to just burst down these heroes?
Generally, the hero suffers against high HP lineups and sustain because he throws out his kit and then he does not win the man fight afterwards. Nice arena catch.
Who cut that tree? Maureen doesn't have a Quelling Blade.
That was...
I don't think it was the arena. I don't think the arena was up yet. Either way, Shopify, very unfortunate. Lose their mid laner. Yopaj is now tumbling down the net worth chart.
I mean, ATF Mars. It's just too good, man. He's already putting on a show and we're only 11 minutes in. He won this offlane, killed the Luna, makes mid rotation, gets 2 off that, shuts down Yopaj's momentum, gets Maureen a little bit back in this game. The tree just didn't get planted. So misplay, yeah, there was no tree.
Huh.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There was no bushwhack stun duration, so a little bit of missed spell casting, but honestly, I don't know if it would have changed the outcome too much in terms of that fight being favorable for Shopify. And ideally, you want to be using some Stampedes in this early game. Find something on the map. Need support ultis. That's what you need right now. We're talking about damage issues. You need Purge and you need this Sharpshooter
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
to have a chance of bringing down this Mars.
Saberlight. A bit of deja vu.
Infest Orb play.
Yeah, that's a nice move there. Stampede is going to go off, and the slow will wear out, so Saberlight's going to be okay for now. They're going to try and punish Maureen. Maureen's going to jump for the kill onto Saberlight. Saberlight, he could have just ran away, but he stuck around, and now the curse is going to land. Not that it's going to do much damage, but it's going to hold these heroes back, so Maureen has a chance to get away, but never mind. He got caught by the disruption. He couldn't jump to his orb in time.
Nice play by Kittrack. It's a pretty reliable interaction in the early game. You don't have the phase shift points up. This Shadow Demon can catch you, and that Shadow Demon Void Spirit's going to be nice setup in a lot of these fights if they can combine it. So nice find from Shopify at the end of that exchange, but that spellcasting was
Dire's
real
top
pretty
tower
there
is under
from Falcons.
Yule's almost done already for the Mars.
That's going to be very scary for the
Dude,
Void Spirit.
They got at least Saberlight alone, man. This is bullying. He's just dead again. No Stampede to get him away, so... Life Stealer's coming in, but he doesn't have Infest, so no heal is going to be available for Crit or Amar, but nobody here from Shopify to punish. You just get the dive on a Centaur, kill him, and
Dire's top
Shopify
tower
has no
is under
response.
attack.
And that's Yule's finished here.
Radiant's middle
Pre-14
tower is under
phase boots,
attack.
double
Dire's
bracer,
top
soaring
tower is
wand,
fallen.
Yules. Okay. That's a start.
Stacked.
Yeah. He's like almost 2,000 ahead of the Centaur, who is having a pretty good laning phase.
Are you down for this? They're once again going to go for the coil kill with the Infest Bomb, but Yopaj... Yules actually holds him in place for the spear to land. He's dead.
Another incredibly fast rotation here, just identifying he's too far up in the lane. They get that Yules off the kill's top. It flies out to Amar, instantly puts it to use. Just incredibly efficient, and they even got their Wisdom Rune that
Dire's
almost got
middle
killed
tower
by,
is fallen.
I believe, an
Radiant's
illusion up
bottom
there.
tower is under attack.
Crit with the heads-up play. And Falcons in a good position. Tier 1 towers down. All of theirs still up. And their kill threat is online. So if you start to take the map over, limit the Luna's access to Ancients, Artesia is going to be in trouble.
Are you down with this Void Spirit rushing Ags? Every game we see Void Spirit. I kind of get it. Void Spirit's usually picked up against the puck. Ags, good counter to the puck, but it just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel that good to me.
No, I have said it before in the other Void Spirit games. The Ags Rush is not good unless you get it
Dire's
basically
top
on
tower
point
is
and you're
under
ahead of the
attack.
puck. If he was where the Mars is right now, you know, he would have it done and he would be able to find the fight impact with it. But when you're building it up like this build-up just sucks. There is no way. It's a garbage build-up. You know, this hero wants an intermediary item, which he had in several of the patches, but people
Yeah, there
aren't
was-
confident enough to, like...
There was Witch Blades and Falcon Blades.
Yeah, but
Mage Slayer.
That's the problem with the hero. He doesn't possess enough damage with this intermediary to be a threat on the map, so you feel like you have to go this to deal with the puck, and it's slow. And while you're waiting to farm this item, Amar is getting stuff done. That's a courier kill on top of another Luna kill as ATF continues his rampage here.
And between the Cold Embrace and the Yule Scepter he has, they're always full on resources. They're limited, just limited by cooldowns at this point, and those cooldowns are pretty low. Spear after spear, arena and coil, back and forth.
Just everywhere.
Occasional Infest Bomb coming in.
I'm honestly surprised that people give the Mars. I know there's a lot of talk about the hero pool for this team, but I do feel like the Mars is the strongest of these offlane heroes in a game where the hero is snowballing.
Yeah.
And I feel like Centaur is the weakest for me.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. And if there's anybody you you should not give Mars to. I feel like it's Falcons.
Yes, that especially, right? Like, if this is a Centaur snowballing right now, you feel like you can come back at some portion of that lake. But the Mars is just going to scale way harder here. He can go that Octarine utility build if he wants. He can go scaling damage. He can go Refresher Hex in the late game like we've seen from Collapse.
That's the part that really sells it for me, is the fact that you could pick it early and it limits the enemy's draft quite a bit because there's a lot of interactions between the arena wall or this Yule Spear that like a lot of heroes just do not like, and the versatility of item build means that you can kind of, whatever the enemy team throws at you, there is a Mars build for it.
Falcons just very comfortable right now. Very few teams have been able to shake them from their comfort zone. And Aetherland's done, so he is going that catch, long-range catch build. I mean, this is just a deadly Yule Scepter. I had the Vizier on top of it. The range for Yopaj is a nightmare right now.
Whoa!
Okay, that is Mercy. ATF showing Mercy here.
I guess so. We'll get Kid Track anyway, but
this keyboard lag.
That was so, for Amar, that was so comically off.
Yeah, that wasn't even close.
Oh, it wasn't.
That's what we'd call a little brain lag, for lack of a better term, but you missed out on a kill. They're still in a good position. I don't think they're too sad about where this game is at, but it will give Yopaj his Ag. So instead of dying there and setting it back farther, you do get that big item on the Void Spirit, and if you're Shopify, you need to start connecting with it. The sooner the better. Still like a relatively okay timing for it. Again, this build-up's pretty bad. Yopaj found nothing in that early game. He's 0-2. And here's that smoke to make it work. So this is a big smoke for Shopify if they want to regain some momentum in this game. And they're doing it into a puck with that haste rune.
Oh,
I don't know if there's
so rough.
a harder target to be trying to go on right now.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They're going to stampede after him. Almost got him on the silence. Not quite. Now he's going to haste rune away. Does manage to get hit by the stomp. They got him on the bushwhack as well. The sharpshooter. No, the Sunder comes in and saves him. Still, though, Artee's a good spot. Never mind. Winner's Curse saved by the disruption. Okay, for now, Amar trying to make a run for it. Does not get grabbed. Infest saved. Acorn shot bouncing around a little bit. Saberlight does manage to get the jump onto him. Finishing him off, but he's right next to a Lifestealer now. So he's going to be eaten for lunch. And Skeeter looking for dinner as well. Shopify will retreat, though.
I'm surprised that went as well as it did there, considering you smoke break on an OBS that Falcons had seen that Centaur come in. So Maureen can react how he wants. He baits him in a little bit. You get that haste rune. The puck is definitely secure. Gets the Sunder just to make sure of it. But ATF just got eclipsed down. Arteezy with solid positioning there finds the Mars. And the downside of this Yule's Aetherlens build, you don't have early BKB presence, so he is susceptible to the Magic Burst.
Yopaj, see him, he stopped spamming his ultimate. Really wanted to catch the puck here. Does manage to get the grab on him, follow up with the silence. Oh, an orb coming up in a second. Orb and phase shift. Oh, he phase shifts, and now he's just dead as a result.
Nice pickup. Bait the bait, and Maureen goes down. It's 1,000 gold. Killing spree.
Pretty decent.
I mean, some big kills for Shopify to find. Stabilizing this game. Radiance for Skeeter.
Yikes.
That's a big one here. Not a lot of answers to him right now. I mean, Stampede trading for Rage is your best, but you have to do that into Arena Coil. It's not a very reliable Stampede game.
No. You do have a save, but a lot of time the Shadow Demon wants to save it for bigger spells and bigger heroes like the Luna.
We did see that disruption on the curse.
Yep, very nice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The funny part is later on, the higher levels of curse, isn't that just going to spawn illusions and he's still going to be cursed and then he's just getting hit by his own illusions?
Dire are scanning.
Yeah. But you can just wait a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The heads up plays, you don't disrupt them instantly.
Sure.
Wait 2 seconds, disrupt him. He comes out, then you get Luna illusions on top of it. Then you're in a good position.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
coiled. Nobody's close by. Malreen's just afraid of dying, and he knows they're in a pretty good spot as long as he doesn't experience some serial losses here. It's all good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
He's just
attack.
rushing the BKB. Another issue with this Void Axe coming out later is the puck gets to BKB faster, and then
Radiant's
you just
middle
lose
tower
that
is under attack.
chain
Radiant's
capability
middle tower has
for the rest of the game,
Yeah.
which feels rough. Now you can still be pretty effective here on the rest of the heroes. There aren't a lot of early BKBs going to come out from Falcons. If
Dire's top tower is
they
under
opt to go
attack.
for them, it will be later here on the rest of the heroes. Another item queued up for Amar, but he went the Blink Aether Lens Yule, so a lot of early investment that you can still find this Mars and silence him, force some sort of bad interaction with the arena.
Dire's top tower is under
And
attack.
Roche is still up,
Dire's
so
structures are
Falcons have not committed for that yet either. BKB for
Radiant's
Skeeter.
bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting enough, it's Shopify in a position who maybe could have done it here. There are 4 men smoked up behind the Luna. He did not want to apparently rotate through the gate, try and fight top or TP back or anything.
Radiant's
They want
bottom
Luna
tower
BKB.
is under attack.
Fighting before Luna BKB right now
Dire's
is
top
very
tower is under
dangerous.
attack.
He will have it very fast if it's uncontested. And I mean, that's got to be where your lineup comes together here.
More BKBs. Man, that Ags is getting so countered.
It's not even
This
like
Blade
the-
Orchid is also not that valuable.
Mar finds the first pickoff. You could see Malreen is like, all right, you guys got that one, which it's taken a little bit, but they will have to use Curse for him. They'll get him eventually. But Malreen pushed out through the jungle. He was looking for more heroes. He's like, all right, I got this coil. I can find somebody else. Doesn't quite get there before they go through the gate, but he's going to check out the Roche pit. Nobody there. Feel like Falcons are probably in a decent spot to do it themselves, right? At some point, I guess their heroes aren't the best at doing it.
I think they'd rather just keep hunting.
Yeah. Okay.
Dire
Again, I think both teams want to get BKBs to commit for that Roche fight. Makes it a lot more secure. You do not want to be the team getting caught by the other's AoE in this game. Would be a death sentence. Another haste rune. That is, again, a pretty damn powerful rune here. Unless you get purged.
That's the other part about this BKB that I think feels so good in this matchup is that like Puck also does a lot of right clicking.
Yep.
And the BKB gives you a little bit of damage, which adds up with these phase shifts and these Ags. And Arteezy gonna need some help here from Kitrak. Speared away from the Shadow Demon, who's still kind of holding himself away. Does manage to get the kill onto the Mars. Oh, snaking! He only needs a single hit.
He's
Is
not
not
gonna see
going to
him.
be able to get it. Blink comes up a bit too late. They'll kill Kitrak out for it, but that was great for Shopify, man. They killed 2 cores in that time.
How did that go so well? And Malreen died to the Ola core.
Yeah,
That
with
Orchid burst.
yeah, he used BKB in that period of time too.
I mean, we need a replay of that kill, but whatever the hell just happened on the map for Falcons was, well, okay.
Yeah, theorize. You tell. I mean, you're a smart guy, Avery. I'm sure that you could probably put the pieces together. You could Sherlock Holmes the
I
situation.
mean, they jumped him with Centaur. He got Shiva'd, and I'm going to click on the death summary here. No, he did not. He just got... What? He got pulsed into Yules, into Pulse, into Remnant, into Bushwhacked, into Orchid, into Sharpshooter, and he died. There you go, Austin. That's called a radio play-by-play.
Did he just use the BKB at like the very end or something?
Yes, he did, and he still died.
Rough. Well, that's a
Radiant's
massive
bottom
pickup for
tower is
Yopaj,
under
who
attack.
was, I mean, he's still bottom net worth of all the cores, but he was beginning to fall really far behind. Like Crit was beginning to, it was within striking distance of overlapping him.
Another good power rune for Malreen, however, as they're going to continue the pace here, all without that Aegis.
are fortified.
And you have your BKB on the Luna, which Arteezy is still very strong right now. You have to respect how much damage
Dire's
Luna can
middle
pump out in the
tower
fight.
is under attack.
Infested ATF. Looking for the jump. It's a Radiant Obs here trying to scout into that jungle line. It's the Yopaj. Again, you have to think about where this SD save is, who you're jumping. Maybe split the jumps, try and find the backline, find Kitchek on top. This is a great dire ward if they pop on it.
Illicore, it's almost a shame that he's too far ahead. He's not quite
the
breaking
illusion,
the smoke. Okay, it breaks now underneath Vision. Not going to be. He has to jump over for fear of getting caught. He actually just pops the BKB, immediately goes for the coil. They're going to go for the Illicore on the side with the 2 cores, while the Void Spirit stuck inside does live long enough to be able to get through that one. Now RTZ is inside of the pit, doesn't get speared, pops the BKB, chasing after these other heroes. Skeeter is really annoying though. He is chipping away at this Luna pretty damn quickly, and it looks like he's just going to die. They pop the disruption, but he's going to come back trying to run away from Skeeter, but Skeeter's faster than you, and Amar will claim it with God's Rebuke instead. Save Saberlight for last here.
I mean, Shopify just looked confused as to what to do in this fight.
Yes, they did.
Puck BKBs, he sits there in front of 3 of them. Nobody can do anything. Lifestealer pops out, he's raged, and then he has a full duration BKB. I mean, you can't sit there and man fight him. Arteezy's just basically running in circles, hoping God comes down and smites this Lifestealer for him.
Somebody, please destroy this heathen.
I mean, that was not close to even being in a position where they could turn it.
No, not at all.
BKB is just way too good here for Falcons.
So, what's the game plan? Now that they have all these BKBs, if you're Shopify, is there a window where you are going to be able to make a comeback, or is this just going to be Falcons taking this for the rest of the game?
You have to counterplay something with this disruption early and then kite out some of the duration. So you can put yourself in a position where your spells can then return that fight. That is the biggest key here, which means Stampede needs to get value for them, Disruption needs to get value. Maybe Yopaj can go in, bait some of them, and get back out. But you can't just take the head-on clash.
Yeah.
Like we saw clearly that Shopify cannot sit there and right-click Falcons as Falcons right-clicks them and win that battle.
No. I mean, they do now have the Shard on Luna, which I didn't see in that last team fight. Not sure if that's new, but they also have kiting mechanisms for this Lifestealer, right? They have Demonic Purge, they have Stampede, they have ways to get this Luna away from the Lifestealer and into different heroes.
The kiting doesn't matter if they do not commit the debuff immunity. If Skeeter is just walking in, like he's raged, you purge him up, you back up. If he just backs up and doesn't BKB, it doesn't yield anything for you.
Sure.
You need to get the committal out of Falcons here in order to turn that fight. Or you find the crazy jump, right? You can also find the jump and chain stun. The downside is there's going to be a Wyvern turnaround potential.
Right.
Thunder turnaround. That's the scary part of that. But that's a way to force out the early committal and allow you to reset. And they're looking for it here, but this is a very prepared Falcons, not giving you any openings.
Yeah, look at this spacing. Snake King on the high ground. Maureen in the front, in the trees. So he's going to break the smoke early. Oh, they're going to go for a little excursion here with the Infest Bomb. Maureen's just going to attack him.
Yeah,
just see if there's a response.
Daring them to go on him. He has Aegis.
And if there's too much of a response, then the Skeeter pops out. Surprise, goes for the kill off of the coil. And they get one. Can they get a second one? Spear lands it easily. Disruption is there for the save. But when he comes back, he's going to be silenced. That was the gem, too, that was dropped. So,
I mean, we saw what Shopify were trying to do. Like, bait out some of these spells, get the committal, and get out. But again, the Stampede is just not reliable in this game versus Coil Arena. So you don't have disengage. And that was a jump that was very deep from Maureen compared to where that team was.
yeah.
That was a fight where the rest of them were catching up. He is just straight up 1v5 up the hill. And they cannot do anything about it. Falcons just showing why they have been undefeated in this group stage 2. They give very few openings, make very few mistakes, and just play incredibly solid team fights.
Saberlight's not going to find an opening to initiate, not before the Void Spirit is back anyway, so Falcons back away with one building down in the mid lane. 9k net worth lead, still having the Aegis, still having control of the map, and an opportunity presents itself. The Luna is out here deep. Arteezy is just dead? They don't have Stampede. He does have BKB.
I mean, that's as good as dead in a game
Yeah.
like this. No BKB for 80. Look at the cast range on this. Is disgusting.
Yeah, he can heal from so far away. And then you can just casually decide if he wants to follow up that initiation. He does. Skeeter made the call. He went in. Didn't quite get the kill, but got Stampede out of him. No Stampede, no BKB means no Luna. Comes back from the disruption. Dead.
And that is why that BKB charge is as good as dead. Is
Yeah.
Dire's
second you
middle
show, you're
barracks
just
are under attack.
nothing you can do. This game got out of control, and the draft seemed pretty favorable for Falcons here. As
Dire's middle barracks.
again, like the Centaur Mars matchup is just there's not much you can do with it if you're not ahead of this Mars to a significant capacity. You're the one who constantly has to find a way to win those fights, and they're very difficult.
I mean, they're struggling to kill the puck one time because of these infest saves. Finally, a winner's curse comes in. Snaking has had an easy life, I think. Really hasn't had to use that too often. Finally puts it to use here to catch the two supports. They get one of them.
Puck, and that's an Aegis.
Finally got the puck. One time.
Probably wanted to die.
Yeah, probably. His Aegis was very close to expiring.
Dire's bottom barracks are under
A second lane, Shopify. They'll have one more fight.
bottom barracks. Home.
Behold!
That fight is potentially
Dire's
without the
top
Shadow
tower is
Demon.
under attack.
Gets
Okay.
the stomp on a two, not too bad. Almost dead, almost immediately does manage to pop the Stampede. Amar, he's going to come down and die.
that's
Meanwhile,
thunder.
the Luna is running down heroes with these glaives. The Infest goes out. The Lifestealer's going to come back into play here and does manage to run down one. And Yopaj, well, he's going to kite around Skeeter, but they can't stop this monster. Yules, GG, they're just calling it as
Okay.
they should. There's no way they can fight this Falcons squad with this kind of lead.
I mean, even that last fight, that was probably like the best it's going to look for them. And then your Luna gets thundered down to 4th.